Hey there!
Welcome to the Level Up Academy. If you are an entrepreneur or a coach and you want to level up your mindset and your business, then hit the subscribe button down below.
And today we're talking about overcoming procrastination and specifically our top 3 ways of managing your tasks so you can get more efficient, more productive, and just kill that procrastination. So procrastination is a business killer, right?
A business killer.
It's a business killer. It's the enemy
Dream
of all...
killer.
Dream killer. It's the enemy of all entrepreneurs. It's the enemy of all business people. It's the enemy of everyone, right? No one wants to procrastinate.
And yet everyone does
Everyone does. And, we've spent a lot of time procrastinating ourselves and trying to work out the best ways to overcome them, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be sharing with you guys today. We are going to break this down into a 3-part series because we break our strategies for overcoming procrastination into 3 themes, right?
Yep.
We're going to cover the first theme today, and that's task management. The other 2 are
time management and prioritization. So subscribe here if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss out those videos.
Exactly. And so what we're going to do today is give you our top 3 favorite strategies,
Yes.
top 3 favorite methods of kind of organizing our tasks or managing our tasks effectively to make sure that we are focusing on the ones that are delivering value and
Yep.
getting rid of the riffraff.
If you're a business owner, which hopefully you are, you will know that there's a lot to do. So here's our top 3 recommendations. Number 1, chunking. If you haven't heard about this one before, then you're gonna have a nice chuckle. But this is a great thing, right? Chunking of tasks is almost exactly as it says on the tin. You have a big task, break it down into smaller chunks.
Exactly. And this is something that sounds obvious, sounds silly, sounds pretty kind of superficial, but I'm sure you guys, we've been there, I'm sure you guys have been there too, where you are just aspiring, your goal, the goal that you're setting yourself is to start a business, right? That's a huge mammoth task.
Massive.
Or let's say you want to record a module, okay, to build your online course. Just record that module. Obviously, you know that is going to be made up of loads of little small activities, whether it be graphic design, structuring the actual lesson itself, and recording the lesson itself, right? We're talking about being effective with your time.
Yeah.
And when you have this big goal, sometimes the fact that it takes so long to achieve that big goal will be demotivating, right?
Exactly.
Because you can't see the progress you're making towards it because it's just too big.
Yeah, and another thing is, this is a big reason for why a lot of people procrastinate, right? When you just don't see yourself ticking off things in your to-do list, it just gets a little bit boring. And if you don't know exactly, the details of why you procrastinate, then watch this video up here because we cover a lot of that in detail there. But here, let's think about this. If you have this mammoth task, like Phil was talking about, is recording a module. Of course, you're going to put it off over and over and over because it just sounds like a big deal. But if you chunk it down into smaller segments, like today, all I'm going to do is figure out a storyboard of the slides I need to make. Oh, great. That sounds pretty simple. I can do that. Okay, tomorrow what I'll do is create those slides.
Exactly.
You will create momentum as you start taking the small bits off.
So take a moment, take that big goal that you have, either it's a module or it's your entire online course, and just sit down with yourself and break it down. And then each chunk you can break down into further chunks, and each of those chunks you can break down into more chunks. And eventually you'll have this pyramid of chunks and they become your goals.
Yep.
Right? And you can allocate them to the next week, to the next kind of month, through the next 12 weeks as you're building out your course over the next 3 months. Pluck that number, that date out of thin air. Could take you longer, could take you less time. But the point is, chunk the chunks.
Chunk the chunks and set goals or set dates to make them goals. Again, if you haven't seen the goals video, we've got one up here that we'll link into. So watch the goals video so you can set the right type of goals and make sure your chunked tasks are achievable.
Exactly. Right, let's move on to the next one. The next one, similarly to the chunking one, sounds obvious, but
it's
not many
not.
people do.
I
Not
actually
many people
haven't
do
met
it.
really anyone who does this.
Yeah, okay, and that is the not to-do list.
It's so important. And think about it, like as entrepreneurs, you have a never-ending list of tasks, right? Your to-do list is always growing, and that's the biggest complaint we hear from a lot of people, including our clients when they first join. They're like, oh my God, I have so much to do. I can't get motivated to do any of it. I know what I need to do, but I'm just procrastinating. All these things happen because a lot of the things in your to-do list is probably just things you don't need to do. Like, you don't really need to do them. So what is your not to-do list?
I tell you what, create your to-do list and then create your not to-do list and have a think about if any items on your to-do list actually belong on the not to-do list. You know, are they essential? We like to focus on revenue generating activities, but you can use these methods and these principles in any aspect of your life, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it be starting an online business or working your 9 to 5, right? So absolutely think about the things that you just do not need to do, but you may have just formed a habit, or you may just be distracting yourself with these activities so that you don't do the stuff that's a little bit harder, a little bit more kind of brain capacity consuming, like starting your online business, right? You might be distracting yourself with the ironing or cleaning your room or reorganizing your desk. That was the favorite.
For the 15th time.
For the 15th time, exactly.
But think about this, okay? Falls into a big thing of knowing what you're spending your time on. So if you don't know what you're spending your time on, then again, subscribe below, because our next video is going to cover time management, and we'll go through in detail about our time audit method that you will love.
So we've covered chunking, not to-do list, and our third and favorite tip.
Yes, this is great. And it's called the dad list. Yes.
We love a good dad list.
A good dad list. A good dad list will literally save you so much time, and it will make you so much more efficient that you will stop procrastinating. And literally just this one tip, if you implement it in the right way, can skyrocket your progress.
Absolutely. Right. And so dad essentially has nothing to do with whoever your kind of parents are. It actually stands for delegate, automate, and delete. Okay. So the first step in starting your dad list is actually to pull your to-do list out. You put it on the left-hand side, and
actually, sorry to cut you off, but if you haven't got a to-do list, because we meet a lot of people who don't even have a to-do list, they just have it in their head. Oh yeah, I've got it in my head. It's fine. I got this. You don't got this. If it's in your head, it's just jumbled into
dead.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, it's dead. And that's the reason you're probably not doing any of it, because you don't know. You can't see. You don't know what order you should be doing things in.
So once you have your to-do list, now that you've written out your to-do list, you'll then go through this entire list and decide which of those items you would delegate, right? Which of those items can you pass on to someone else? When it comes from a business, you know, can you get someone in? Can you outsource it, or can you get a VA to do it, for example?
Well, think about this, in a life example. You know, a lot of people don't like cooking. Well, if you're in the UK, well, there's a lot of like meal prep companies that do this for you, that just cook all the meals and send it over your way. And you can put it in your fridge or freezer and just eat it, you know, when you're time poor. This is an awesome thing that you can do. Don't waste your time cooking, do this thing. So think about it like that. Other stuff that you are wasting your time on, what can you delegate to other people?
Because ultimately, what we're trying to do here is manage your tasks so effectively that you get time back that you can put towards your course, building your business, you're creating your course, creating
revenue generating activities, or self-care activities.
Exactly.
Which is important.
Exactly. We talk a lot about business, but self-care is the most important, right? No self-care will eventually lead to no business, because you just burn out and explode, right?
Boom.
Anyway, we've got delegate, you've got to-do list, delegate, then you've got automate, okay? What sort of tasks can you automate? For example, can you get yourself a robotic Hoover that just automatically cleans your apartment, cleans your house?
Exactly. And in a business sense, you know, what automations can you set in place so you don't have to be there all the time, right? So for example, if somebody signs up to your mailing list, can you have set up a mail sequence that literally just sends it out to them so you don't have to be the person to do that? You know, in fact, this is actually quite funny, but when we were first starting out, we didn't have that, right? We were actually just emailing out individually. And a lot of people we met were doing the same thing, so we didn't really know any different. It's only when we started and a little while later realized this is really simple. It just sounds more crazy than it is. And you just have to think about how easily you can automate a lot of these things. So
yeah. It's either you can be using chatbots, you can be using these email automations. There's so many free options out there to just do simple email automations.
Yeah.
There's you know, even batching content.
I was
right?
literally just gonna say
batching content. That's the big one in any new entrepreneur's career. It is getting content and making sure that the content is consistent. And rather than doing it, you know, preparing a new post every day and making sure that you kind of release it at the same time every day, all that. Why don't you just batch?
Which
7 days
we
in a row?
did.
We did.
We
And-
did
yeah.
individually release posts out every single day. Actually, when we started, we were doing 3 times a day
Yeah.
for, I don't know, like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
did that, and we did that manually, and that was dumb because it just took up so much of our time. So if you're doing that still manually, there's so many easier ways to just batch content create and automatically set up so it just goes out on time.
Exactly. Just imagine scheduling one day to create 7 posts, and then you can just like schedule them out. You just need to use Business Suite, for example,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Facebook. They'll allow you to post immediately on Instagram. A little bit more difficult when it comes to Reels, but you can still batch create the captions, the hashtags, get that all together so that you don't have to worry so much about it when the time comes.
And if you guys
Right.
want to see any more information on how we do that, let us know in the comments or like this video, and we'll make a video on that one.
Exactly. And then the final one, probably your favorite one, this is where your not to-do list comes from, is the delete column, right? And ultimately, go through your entire to-do list and just decide which of those items belong on your not to-do list, right?
Exactly.
Which of those things you just don't really need to do, because often we get so worked up on just petty little things that actually just don't matter that much,
Like
right?
recreating your logo for the 20th time. It doesn't matter.
Perfecting those transitions in your reels or your post, or creating an incredibly informative infographic post for Instagram. I mean, bottom line, unfortunately, we now live in a world of just mass. People consume so much content and so much data all the time. They spend only a handful of seconds.
I think the
Seconds.
average, we looked this up, I think the average for an Instagram post that somebody sees was 0.8 seconds.
That's mad.
Not
Considering
even 1 second gets spent on your content that
Yeah.
you might spend like
you
hours.
spend 0.8 days on this post, and that's just where you got to think about progress over perfection. Okay, but anyway, the delete column is really there for drop all your ideas onto the paper to create your to-do list, and then just look at which one's just not that important. Okay,
Yeah.
and delete them.
Scratch.
Get rid of them. Focus on the things that are generating,
Yeah.
that are generating revenue for you, or helping you learn a new skill, grow yourself,
Yeah.
improve your mental health, whatever it is that where you want to get the value from.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So now we've covered chunking, not to-do list, and the dad list. Let us know which one was your favorite in the comments below. And remember, subscribe, because we have got 2 other videos coming in this 3-part series to teach you how to do your time management and also how to prioritize your tasks effectively.
All of them there for you to stop procrastinating and just become a superhuman in productivity. So yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell to make sure that you are the first to know when those videos come out, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.